Okay, I'm live. I'm live. Good. All right. I guess I'm live now. Mm. Can you see me? Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Can you guys see me? Just write on the chat if you can see me and if you can hear me well. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the workshop. I'm so excited that you're here. Before we get started, I would love to know, hello, everyone. Oh my God, the chat is on fire right now. So before we get started, I would love to know where are you joining from, and also whether you are a freelancer or you are thinking of going freelance soon. So write on the chat where you're from and whether you're a freelancer or not, or you're thinking of going freelance. So yes, you can hear me. Okay, awesome. Everything perfect. So, Brianna from Pittsburgh, you are a freelancer. So Carla, you're a freelancer as well. So from Berlin, thinking of going freelance. From the USA, happy Thanksgiving for everyone in the USA. So Adriana, she's from Barcelona, she's thinking of going freelance. Okay, Berlin, freelancers since a week. Republic of Moldova, hi everyone there. So Moldova, freelancer, and soon a company, awesome. Argentina, hi. From Chile, hello from Iquique, hi. Okay, great. So hello everyone over there. While we wait for everyone to jump in the live, I'm gonna move on to telling you a little bit about what this workshop is gonna be about. So let me just go ahead and share my screen. So give me just a minute to share my screen. So I'm gonna go to the keynote. Okay. All right. Okay. Everything said. So while we wait for everyone to come in the workshop, I would like to show you a little bit, or to give you an introduction of what we are going to see in this workshop. So welcome everyone to the Launch Your Freelance Business workshop. So if you are a freelancer, so if you are thinking of going freelance, this workshop will give you the motivation, I hope, to make your first steps. If you're already a freelancer, perhaps many of the things that we are going to see through the workshop you have already gone through and you have already said, but I'm sure that some of the things will help you, adjust the things that you're doing and, help you do better or thrive in what you're doing. So what the workshop is essentially about, just let me just go through the so what the workshop is essentially about is, we're going to start by bringing down all the myths about freelancing. I know that many of you out there are thinking of going freelance, and I know that, freelancing may seem very daunting. It was, at least for me, when I wasn't a freelancer. So we're going to go through some of the myths of freelancing. And we're going to speak about the backend. The backend is essentially the basic setup for your business. And I'm going to do a special emphasis on finances, because I know that us creatives, we didn't learn anything about finances, and no one we didn't learn this in art school, and I think it's so important, and it's something that we can all learn about and we can all improve, and it's also very essential for us to thrive in our business. We're going to look, once we have, the backend set up, we're gonna go onto the front end. That is our portfolio, our website, our like visible image, right? Or the visible part of our business. And after we do this, we're gonna, launch our freelance business in the middle of the workshop, essentially. And after we launch the freelance business, we are gonna move on to looking at the strategies to find clients. And I know you might be wondering, like, hey, what? But that should come before. But we will get there. So we're gonna see strategies to find clients. And later on, there's a Q&A and the launch of Leave Now, which is one of my courses. I know that many of you are here because you have heard of this course that I'm about to launch in my academy with my team. And I'm gonna speak to you about this course later on at the end of the workshop. So if you're interested in the course, please stay until the end. And after that, I'm gonna also hold a Q&A. So I'm gonna open questions for everyone to ask and ask me any questions about freelancing. So what we are basically gonna do throughout the workshop is to make a prototype of your freelance business. So I want to explain this about what this thing of the prototype is. Because before we start actually with the entire workshop, I want to introduce myself. I know that many of you know me already, but my name is Martina Flor. I'm a lettering artist, and I run a studio in Berlin, lettering studio in Berlin, and I'm also an educator. And I've been freelancing since 2010 when I moved to Berlin. And many of you know me because I've been teaching lettering and type design for many years. And I know by experience that, thriving in what you do in your craft is as essential as thriving in your business. And we thought with my team to set up this course or this kind of content in our academy to sort of complement what we are teaching in lettering or in craft, also with business content, things that help you thrive in what you're doing. So, so what we're essentially going to speak about in this workshop is about creating the prototype of your business. So when I speak about prototype of your business is to create an image of what your business could be. I know that many of you or many people that wants to go freelance, they start by trying to set up everything perfect and have, the website perfect, the business cards, the clients, everything set up. When actually what you need is to put your work out there and, start working on towards a better version of that business. So that's what I mean when I speak about creating the prototype of your business, that we're going to put something out there that is not perfect, but we're going to perfect it throughout time. And if you have been in any of my workshops, you have heard about this, this concept, because I use this not only for my business, but I use this also for the work I do, for teaching. So keep that in mind, that we are creating the prototype of your business. So let's go through the myths of freelancing. So one of the myths of freelancing is that, it's too unstable. I like the security of employment, many say. And I know how that feels. I was an employee too, but the truth is that this stability is not really, it's an illusion. How many of you have heard of someone who was recently laid off, especially in this context, right? So when you are a freelancer, you are in charge. You have the power to create opportunities for yourself. Another myth of freelancing is that, you will work a lot, right? You will work 24/7. And, working less should be one of the reasons why you go freelance. And I have to say that personally, I bought into this idea of the burned out freelancer in the very beginning when I started freelancing. And when I had children, I started, this really changed my mind about what I was doing. And actually I started working actively towards creating a business where I have time for my family, I have time for myself, and I have time to enjoy the work I do. I will not earn enough money. So, well, when you're on your own, you are the one in control of creating new opportunities, new collaborations, finding new clients. So the truth is that, you know, you can find yourself in July saying like, hey, I don't need to work for the next 6 months because I have done enough for the year, right? So it's actually one of the reasons you will want to go freelancing is because you will have the capability to earn more money. I don't have enough contacts and clients. We will see later on that you have more contacts and clients than you actually think. And there's too many freelancers doing great work out there. It's true. The truth is that none of them is you. And if clients want to work with you, it's not only because you do great work, but also because they like you, they like the way you speak, they like the way you work. So all of these things have an impact in the success of your business. So what I want to say here is that as a freelancer, you have superpowers. I always speak about the superpower of a freelancer because you have the power to create opportunities. You have the power to decide how much you want to earn. You have the power to decide how you manage your time. And many freelancers think that when they start their business, they are starting from scratch. You know, this is new and it's daunting and I'm very scared, but actually I have something to tell you. You're not starting from scratch. You are the result of your talent and your experiences. And I want to make a small exercise with you right now so that you understand that you have a lot of tools to make this happen. So I call this exercise the scope map. It's basically grab a pencil and do it at home. It's basically about, you know, listing the things that you can do and listing the things that you want to do. So on the left, I will put myself as an example, as always. On the left, in my case, when I started, I could do graphic design, I could do illustration. I had experience as a teacher assistant, and I even took some acting classes when I was a teenager. So these are all the things, and I had, of course, others, right? But I want you to list on the left column. I want you to list all the things that you're capable of doing, all your experiences, all your past jobs, things that even seem unrelated to what you want to do, which is what I want you to list on the right side of this list, right? So what I wanted to do personally was to do lettering, to do type design, to teach, right? So while the things on the right side are my north, or were my north all the time, are the things that I want to do. The things that I can do are the tools to make that happen. That means that not only that they will help me finance my way onto lettering and type design and teaching, but also they could help me to actually do some of the stuff. So for instance, in the very beginning of my business, I was taking some graphic design and illustration jobs just to pay the bills. Whereas, you know, in the rest of the time, I would try to make my best to create opportunities for doing more lettering, right? But in the very beginning, that was very useful to sort of pay the bills. And for instance, the acting classes were super useful. I didn't realize this until now, but were super useful for all my teaching activities because, you know, all this body language that I learned there was really useful to actually teach, like I'm doing right now, right? And you see me moving the body and the face. These are all things that I learned during my acting classes. So all the things that you can do or your experiences are great tools to do what you want to do. So remember that you already have superpowers. So let's start by the back end of your business, right? Also known as the basic setup. Of course, you need a workspace, whatever that is. Doesn't matter if it's, you know, a table sitting next to your desk, to your bed. Doesn't mean you can find a co-working space. Find a place that it's available for you and it's more comfortable and more reachable for you right now. Time management. You don't need a very elaborated tool to manage your time in the very beginning. You can use your calendar, your iCal in your computer. You can schedule all your tasks there. That's enough. the technical setup. Which tools do you need for, I assume that many of you are graphic designers, lettering artists, photographers, video makers. So actually we are fine with our laptop or a desktop computer and an iPad or something else. But so you need that technical setup, which is actually, all you need to get your work done. And then there's the financial setup. And this, for you that are experienced freelancers, might be actually something you already do. If you don't, then you should. So you have, as a freelancer, you have an income, right? So, and that will be very high. We're going for a very high income as freelancers. And you're going to have two separate bank accounts. So one of them is a business bank account, and one of them is a personal bank account. So in your business bank account, you will receive all these payments from clients, collaborations, royalties, etc. From your business bank account, you will have an extra separate account for taxes. So you're gonna take, those fat payments, and you're gonna separate 30% of that to pay taxes later on. And you're gonna have a credit card and perhaps a PayPal account associated with that business account. And all your business expenses are gonna go out of your business account through your credit card, PayPal, whatever, right? So all your business is gonna happen through one account, right? And you're gonna pay yourself a salary. So yeah, that actually you're gonna pay yourself a fixed amount of money per month. And of course you can get bonuses. You can get 1 bonus per year. You can get also 5 bonuses per year, right? But all this money has to go from your business account to your personal account. And from there, you're gonna, pay out all your expenses like rent, shopping, food, etc. Right? But this is super important. This will save a lot of time for you to do your tax declaration, but also to understand how your business is doing. You need to know all the time how your business is doing. And I tell you this because I didn't know how my business was doing until long in the game of freelancing. And the year I actually kept track of my finances was the year where I actually doubled my income, just because I understood like how much I'm doing and how much I'm actually capable of doing if I plan ahead. So this is very powerful. And if you're not doing this as a freelancer, you should. And if you're gonna start as a freelancer, this is the way to go. So we have the basic setup, right? This is all you need actually. And later on, you can move on to creating the front end. That is the visible part of your business. And of course, for us creatives, the visible part of our business is super essential, the portfolio, right? Your portfolio is essentially the reflection of the work you want to do. And this means that, clients will come to you to replicate things you already have in your portfolio. So in your portfolio, you should show the work you want to do more of. So that means, let's say that this is your portfolio right now, or this is all the work you have done. That means, those projects that didn't go as well as you thought they will go, and, you don't like the result, those you're gonna leave out. That wedding invitation you did for a friend, but, it looks horrible at the end of the day, you're not going to include that. Or that, that brochure you did for a family member or a friend, but you don't want to do more brochures in the future, don't include that, even if it looks good. So the first thing you're gonna need is you're gonna edit your work, right? And I know that many of you are gonna left with just a few projects to show. These projects are, the reflection of what you want to do in the future. If you want to do more photography, this should be, or more, let's be more specific. If you are a photographer and you want to do more portrait photography, then these projects should be beautiful portraits that, someone who comes to your website will say like, hey, I want a portrait by this photographer. So, you're going to edit your work, and perhaps you're going to be left with just a few samples in your portfolio. I think that to get started, 4 projects, 5 projects are just enough. If you have 4 projects, maybe you find ways to showcase them in a bigger way, maybe, or you find ways to showcase different parts of that project, show a detail, show that project in an application, in a packaging. So find ways to show those few projects you have in a very attractive way. So you don't need to have 20 projects, you just need to show those 4 projects in a very amazing way, right? So, and the truth is that if you don't have enough projects to show, because that can happen, it happened to me, if you don't have enough projects to show, my advice would be to fake it, right? And by fake it is not to just come up with, projects from somewhere else, but actually to find excuses to create work, the work you're authentically good at, right? And I'm going to share with you a project that I did in the very beginning. I didn't have many things to show, or lettering projects to show in my portfolio when I just started. So I came up with an excuse to create more work. That was a project that was called Lettering versus Calligraphy. It's a project that I started with an Italian calligrapher. And essentially we set up an online battle, right? So we would upload a letter. He would do it in calligraphy. I would do it with lettering, and people could vote. So they will come to the website. They will vote for lettering every time, of course. And, you could see how that battle was going. And we created a lot of different letters. So we're uploading one every week or every day, actually, at the moment. And through this project, I created a lot of work. I actually dedicated like 1 hour per day to do this battle. And by the end of the project, that lasted like 3 months or so, I had a lot of projects to show, or a lot of, actually samples of letter shapes that I had done, right? So this was really useful for me to sort of put it in my portfolio and show potential clients what I could do. So this is how my online portfolio used to look when I started. And I have to say, I am a little bit ashamed to say this, but I have to say that there was just one client assignment on that website. All the rest of the projects you see there were self-initiated projects, either extracts of this project that I did on lettering versus calligraphy, or they were cards that I sent to friends, or they were a poster that I created. So actually, if you see the portfolio, you get an idea of like, hey, this lady here is doing lettering. She's doing things with letter shapes, right? You can very clearly see what she specialized in, although only one of these assignments or these projects is a client assignment. So I also want to tell you that your online portfolio is not everything. So not everyone will come to your online portfolio. Internet is huge. So I always recommend students or freelancers to sort of find ways, original ways to reach out to people, collaborators, potential clients. One thing that worked for me very well was promotional material, or is promotional material. And we have a tradition here in the studio that we send away a greeting card every single year. We created, every single year we create a different greeting card. We try to put a lot of attention in it. We printed with a special technique. So for instance, here we printed that card with laser cut. In this case, we sent this card with a pin so that the people could actually keep typography next to their hearts with that pin. This one was laser engraved. And there's a reason why I do this. The reason is that the first promotional material I ever created looked like this. This is the first one I ever created. It was in 2013. And 3413, this lettering piece here, stands for 3 wishes for 2013, right? So I sent this at the end of 2012. And in the back of the card, I invited every person who will receive the card to write down their wishes. If you have been in one of my workshops, you have heard this story already, but I'm gonna say it anyways. So at the moment I was looking for an agent, an illustration agent, and I sent them this card, but instead of leaving the spaces blank, I put my own wishes. The wishes were to be happy, to travel the world, and to be represented by you. So they received this card and they called me, and I've been working with them for 7 years now. So that, that card that you see there, which was like the cheapest card I could ever print, it was one color on craft paper. This little card brought me so many opportunities. And from that point on, I started using promotional material to reach out to people and to, I feel that it's so powerful to be able to reach someone's desk by, putting some of your work out there in the shape of a postcard, in the shape of an object. So try to think of possible ways in which you can reach out to other people that are not necessarily your website, right? So that is not necessarily digital. So we have the back end, we have the front end. So the back end is all the setup, the financial setup, the technical equipment, the workspace. The front end is your visible part, your website, your portfolio, perhaps your promotional material. Actually, this is all you need to launch your business. You don't need that much to launch your business and say hello to the world. Because I feel that many freelancers, held back right here. They are trying to get everything perfect. They're trying to find clients before actually starting their business. Whereas what you actually need is to tell the world that you are there, and later on go out to look for opportunities so that clients, collaborators can see what your vision is, what your capabilities are, what is the work you can do. And once you have that, then you can go look for these opportunities, right? And I read a book recently by Elizabeth Gilbert, and this is one of the quotes from this book, and she says, perfectionism stops people from completing their work. Yes, but even worse, it often stops people from beginning their work. And I think this is the whole point of this workshop, that it gives you the motivation to actually stop overthinking everything you're doing, to stop overthinking your portfolio, to stop overthinking that business card, that promotional materials, to stop trying to find clients before you actually launch your business, that you just set up the basic stuff you need. And once you say hello to the world, once you put your work out there, you go out to look for opportunities, which is, this is one of the things that comes after, right? Finding clients, finding collaborations. And I know that many of those that are going freelance or that are starting with freelancing, even some people that are already freelancers, they say, well, I'm an introvert. I'm not, it's not that easy for me to start a conversation. How do you start a conversation with a stranger, right? For all of those of you, perhaps some of you that are there, that feel this way, I can tell you, these are things you can learn. These are all skills you can learn. When I moved to Berlin, I actually had a language barrier. I didn't speak the language. And with the time, I actually understood that, once you connect with someone, the language is not really that important. And I know it's crazy, but I was so overwhelmed by the fact that I couldn't communicate with clients properly because I couldn't express myself so well, that actually when I finally got an assignment from a German client, I realized that, especially for something like me and you as well, that you work with, visual in visual disciplines, your work can make a lot of the talking. So If you're an introvert, if you find problems starting conversations with strangers, remember that these are skills you can train. And I have a special strategy to do that. So when you're just starting, this is you, when you're just starting, right? And of course, you don't have these social skills yet, just yet, right? You need to train yourself into strategies to start conversations with clients and to engage fruitful relationships or business relationships. So this is you when you're just starting. So when you're just starting, you're gonna start by your closest circle. That is your family and friends. These are the people you already know. These are the people that is really easy to talk to, that you have no problem to, start a conversation. These people that you have been doing work for free until now, you're gonna start charging, right? So that friend that asked you for that wedding invitation card, you're gonna start charging. Your uncle wants to have a logotype for their business, you're gonna start charging. These are gonna be your first clients, or are gonna be the first people you reach out to start, engaging new clients. When you go through that circle, you're gonna move on to the next circle. That is the friends of friends and acquaintances. So the friends of friends are, the people that are people actually, but are not your family and friends. And by the way, for the first circle, the green one, also includes your current employer. So if you're employed now, you can totally propose to your employer to start freelancing for them. They will very likely say yes. So trust me on this one, your current employer can become your first client. And so that's the first circle, these people. Then you go to the second circle. This is people perhaps past employers, people you have worked for. Then you can reach out to them and say like, hey, I'm freelancing now and I can help you. You know how I work, you know me. I can do work for you, right? So throughout these two circles, you sort of develop skills to, manage the work process, also to develop skills to start conversations, to create opportunities, to create proposals. Once you nail those two circles, you can move on to the big clients. And, to reach out to the big clients, when you reach out to them, first you have already those social skills that you didn't have before, right? You are trained, sort of. But once you want to go reach the big clients, you need to first do your research. So you need to understand whether what is important for those clients, what are their needs, and how you can help. So you need to see how you can help with your services or with your skills. And you need to also approach them with a proposal. So this is what I can do. This is what I could do for you, right? And have something very clear in your mind that not every client is your client. Even if you think that Nike is a great sports brand, perhaps they are not your client. Perhaps they don't align with the work you do or with your values. So not every client is your client, right? So first you need to do your research and understand who your potential clients are, right? And after speaking about clients, after giving you this, this first approach on how you can grow your client base, I want to tell you that, for us freelancers, clients are like the big topic, sort of. Like I hear my freelancers friends speaking about clients all the time. Either they complain because they cannot understand their work, or they cannot find enough, or they have too many clients and they cannot take up so much work. But I want to tell you something, that clients are not and shouldn't be the only way you generate income. And this pandemic proved me right on this one. The COVID-19 pandemic proved me right on this one. The fact that my business has different business areas, different income streams allow me to sort of, steer my business towards areas that are more active in this time. When in the very beginning of the pandemic, when the client work went down, I could actually react and, direct my efforts towards other business areas, right? So I want to tell you that as a freelancer, you shouldn't think about clients all the time, but rather about income streams, whatever these are. So always think, if you're already freelancing, already start thinking about possible income streams you can create with what you do. If you're going to start freelancing right now, I understand that you want to do work for clients because, this brings you a lot of opportunities to develop your portfolio and, to create a variety of work, but already start thinking of possible income streams you can have. This could be anything. This could be teaching. This could be creating products, digital or physical. This could be speaking and, sort of sharing what you know. This could be licensing your artwork. This could be a lot of different things. This could be workshops. Try always to think what you could do with the skills you have. I'm sure that there's not just one thing you could do with that. I'm sure that there's not just, services is not the only thing you could do. So go back to that list we did in the very beginning, this list of the scope map that I call the list of the things you can do and the things you want to do, and try to combine those to sort of think of possible income streams. So in my case, I was, I have a skill with lettering, but I also have this experience with, or this body language that I gained with acting classes. So I combine those to sort of teach and create, that extra income stream for my business. So it's something I enjoy doing. I love teaching, and at the same time, it's part of my business. What I mean with this is that having a business that has different income streams allows you to be truly independent. This is what we are here for. If you're going freelance, it's because you want to be free as a bird. If you want to own your time, be able to create more possibilities and opportunities for yourself, decide how much you want to earn, decide how much you want to work. So having a business with different income streams is the way to go. So in a nutshell, launching your freelance business essentially is about preparing the basic setup, right? The backend, what we did with the financial scheme or diagram that I show you, your workspace, which could be, I will show you a picture of my first workspace later on. So this could be very easy. Don't invest much time or money into getting a beautiful working space or a crazy computer. Just use whatever you have to get started. Presenting yourself, as I said, you need a few projects. And if you don't have enough projects to show, come up with excuses to create more. And what you need to show in your website should be simple, should give a clear message of the work you want to do. And the way to do that is to show what you're great at, to show if you're great at illustration, if you're great at lettering, if you're great at type design, if you're great at photography, you should show that in your website. Should be clear what you do and what you can offer. Third, tell the world you're there. Tell everyone around you, friends, past employees, on the social networks. Tell everyone that you are freelancing, that you are open for opportunities. And of course, go out there to say that you're there. And this what we just did in this workshop, or this what I just essentially went through in this workshop, is something you will be doing all the time, in the years to come. That's why I speak about this prototype of your business, because you create this first prototype that should be very basic, very easy to put out there. And later on, in the next stage, you sort of adjust everything in this prototype. And next year, you continue adjusting things in this prototype. And you know how that works, right? The prototype is something that is outside of your head. It's something that is visible. It's something you can work on, because while your business is inside of your head, it doesn't really move forward. But as you put that out there, you can work on it, right? So remember that concept. And the truth is that you don't know until you try. And this is something I repeat every time. You don't know until you try. You don't know how it's going to work, if it's going to be successful or not, until you actually try. And, I actually, when I started freelancing, I also thought that freelancing was very hard, and it wasn't for me. It was too much work. I would be working all the time. I wouldn't make enough money. And actually, I didn't really choose going freelance. I started freelancing because I was laid off a job. I had just moved to Berlin, and I was born in Argentina, and I moved to Berlin, and I was working in a studio, in a type design studio, and I was laid off this design studio, and I thought that freelancing was easier for me than going, chasing jobs in a city where I don't know the language. So I just decided, well, I'm gonna do this, and I started freelancing. This is me when I started freelancing. I cut my hair very short. This doesn't mean that you have to cut your hair very short. I'm just making a point here that freelancing. Actually, I used to have this picture on the right is me weeks before cutting my hair that short. So I had very long hair, and I cut my hair very short. But what I want to do as a point here is that that actually freelancing to me meant a bigger change in my life. So it didn't only mean starting, cutting hair, but it also meant like changing the environment where I was working, changing things in my life, actually becoming the boss of my life, being in charge of my time, being in charge of how much I want to earn, being in charge of the work I want to do. So for me, it was a big change. And I think that the fact that I cut my hair very short sort of impersonates that. So this is me when I started freelancing. I had my workspace right next to my bed. So this is what I mean with keep it simple. You don't need something very exotic to start working. So I set up my website. I printed a business card. And this is actually what, that was actually the prototype of my business that I keep perfecting until today. So these things that you see there, my workspace, the website, and this business cards was everything I needed for actually starting freelancing. And this is what I keep perfecting nowadays. My workspace has expanded into a studio space, and my portfolio as well into a lot of client work. So that's what I mean. That's why I think that putting out there your business is so important. And I know that, in the very beginning of my business, I was focusing a lot on perfecting my skills. And I told you before that I was also, I sort of got to a point where I was very burned out because I was working a lot. I was trying to do a lot of work for a lot of clients to get, to make my portfolio grow. And actually, I understood at some point that I needed to start putting some focus on my business, because thriving in your art, I know now, is as important as thriving in your business. Doing the work you do and do it great and being happy at it is also, and actually making a good living and having a good business or a thriving business from it is a great part, or it's a very important part from feeling successful, right? So this whole idea of this whole concept is actually what motivated me to, and also my team here that put so much work into creating this workshop and into creating also the course that I'm going to introduce to you right now, because I feel this is something that those that are working in the creative industries never learn about. I feel that when I left art school, I felt very empowered to do great work, to do great art, but no one really showed me how to set up my business financially, how to look for clients, how to actually keep track of my finances. And, no one actually taught me how important this was. I thought that doing art, making art or making design was all about just making art and design. But actually for us, artists and designers and makers, thriving in our art is as important as thriving in our business. So if you have a moment, I want to introduce to this course that I know that many of you are here to see what this is about. So the course I'm speaking about, right after this, I'm gonna have a Q&A, a short Q&A with you. So the course that we are launching right after this workshop is called Leap Now, and it's a multi-week actionable course to launch your freelance business. So we created like a multi-week course to actually help you launch your creative business. So there's a pre-launch module, which is week 1 to 4, right? And this is where the place where we set up all the necessary things like the back end and the front end that I just spoke on the workshop. Of course, that was like the tip of the iceberg. But this is a very complete course that help you set up all this. In the middle of the course, you're going to actually launch your business. So the course is also a great tool to sort of hold you accountable for launching your business, right? And after the launch, there will be the post-launch, right? All these things the thing that we saw about reaching out to clients, we will complement as well with pricing, with invoicing, with conducting a professional work process, presenting your work to clients. So first we're going to launch, and later on in the post-launch module, we're going to, adjust your business sort of. So I'm going to go fast through the content. So we're going to get ready for the big leap. And we're going to set up your mindset, because as I said, we have a lot of myths of freelancing in our head that hold us back from actually going for it. We're going to set up the essentials. We're going to go through organization techniques or ways to be more productive. We're going to set up your portfolio and see strategies to actually expand it. We're going to build your personal brand, which is what makes you memorable in front of others, which is what makes you stand in the crowd of freelancers, right? We're going to launch your business. This is super important, and it's a very nice part of the course. We're going to speak about income streams and how to develop them, right? Because if we want to be independent with our business, we need to have income streams. We're going to reach out to clients, and together with reaching out to clients, we're going to see strategies to find agents if we want to collaborate with an agent. Agents, illustration agents or photography agents can help you get clients. And for this lesson, I actually collaborated with my own agent, Handsome Frank. We had a conversation about, strategies, how to reach out to them. So they give you insider tips that are so good. We're going to see social networks and how to use them effectively and efficiently. We're going to see pricing, and this lesson or this module is actually, or this unit is very thought through. I show you examples. I give you actual numbers that I was paid for assignments. I give you strategies to price work. Actually, I show you actual offers that I have done, or estimates that I have created for clients. So here I'm just opening my heart and everything I know about pricing to you. So project lead like a pro is about, leading a work process with a client so that you can you can create a project or you can create a process that clients can relate to, can give you feedback, but also that is so good that clients come to you again or will come back to you to repeat that great experience. And we're going to speak about sustainable practice because our tool as freelancers is ourselves. We are the main tool of our business. And I think this is so important. And as I said, I bought into this burned out freelancer sort of lifestyle, which is horrible. I don't know if any of you are there right now, but I can tell you after, you know, on the other, on the other side of the bridge, I can tell you, you can actually have such a good life as a freelancer where you work less, you earn more, and you manage your time. So that is possible. So this course that we are launching today has a student workbook. So it helps you sort of plan your business. It has a lot of exercises. This is a great tool. So includes that workshop, that workbook. It has live Q&As with me, so I can help you solve some, you know, problems that you find along the way, and I can help you. So yeah, so those things or those questions you may have along the way. You can follow our calendar of, you know, 8 weeks, but you can also take it at your own pace because you will have access to the course forever. So for life, and you can always go back to the lessons. We will be also updating the course, so you will have access to future updates. And we are doing, we didn't do any sort of Black Friday action in our academy this year, but we are okay. We have also like a 30 days money back. If you don't like the course, you can always reach out to us, and we will send you a refund. No problem. So with this course, we are taking part in the Black Friday, but we are introducing the course at a 30% discount. So after, you know, after this workshop, you're gonna receive an email from me with this discount in case you want to join the course. But actually, I'm so happy that you joined this workshop. I hope you can find great insights from what we just went through. If you're a freelancer, I hope this helps you, you know, adjust some of the things you're doing. If you are going to start freelancing, I hope this is also helpful and gives you an extra motivation to sort of make it happen. I know this is a crazy time for everyone out there, but it's also a time full of opportunities, and I'm sure that if you start now, you can actually make 2012, or you can actually propose yourself start your business in 2021. So I'm here for all the questions you may have. I'm gonna read the chat. You can just drop the questions there, and I'm gonna answer them right here. So. So let me just go to the chat. Okay. Maybe you can. Okay, so Kevin is asking a good question. What does saying hello to the world look like? What are the action steps? I'm stuck in knowing what the next steps is in this phase. This is a very good question. So there's a couple of things you can do, and I actually, you know, in the launch part of the Live Now, I actually go through like the launch to-do list, right? So some of the things you can do are first reaching out to your closest circle. So you should say everyone there that you know that you are freelancing: family, friends, your employer, your past employers. You should tell everyone that you're freelancing. Either you can send a direct email, a personal email, you can use WhatsApp, you can engage on a phone call with people you already know to try to find out if you can already engage some sort of collaboration. So this is the first stage. saying to the people you know that you are freelancing and what you're doing. The second stage is to actually, or another thing you can do is to actually announce it online, in the sense of course, announce it on your website. And don't take this as a minor thing. Say on your website that you're open for collaborations, that you're a freelancer, that you are, looking for opportunities, not only on your website, but also on your social networks, right? On Twitter, write down that you're freelancing and you're looking for opportunities, tweet your work, make as many shout outs to your work as you can. I know that us artists are very snob in the sense, like, people should know me by the work I do, but what the hell, just tweet the work you do, like, remind the people that you're doing great work, and use those social networks to do that. You can, of course, engage your newsletter list. So you can also send a newsletter with all the things you do, the services you offer. And this is a more advanced stage. You can also sort of do your research. So select a couple of clients and people you want to create collaborations with, and create some sort of a special way to approach them. Let that be a card, promotional material, some gift, something that calls their attention and starts a conversation with you. So I hope that helps you to, tell the world that you're there. So Audrey is asking, did you have clients sign project contracts before you had representation? This is a very good question, because, contracts is a very daunting part of running your own business. And it's true that when you work with an agent, they will take care of contracts and they will have their own contract with clients. But actually, personally, I also, besides having my agent that helps me with, getting clients and engaging certain type of clients, I also have my own clients that reach out to me directly. And I also engage collaborations with them, or I actually work directly with them. So I price the projects and I create the contracts and everything. And what I have created, or what I have done in the last years, which makes my work a lot easier, instead of creating a contract, is to, which is something that is also included in the course, is that I have some sort of terms and conditions which act like a contract. So the client that approves an offer or an estimate sort of engages also in these conditions, and these conditions are or terms and conditions. These terms and conditions are made essentially to protect the collaboration, not only the client, but also, my work, my rights, my the conditions of the payments. So everything is listed in these conditions, and of course is included in the course so that you can use it as well. So Sylvia is asking, hi Martina, how did you understand leaving the graphics and illustration to focus on the lettering? Do you have your own why that led you to this decision? Well, I think this is a personal decision. I think there's a certain moment I think there's a first stage towards finding out what you like, which has to do with exploring. I didn't discover what I like to do in the very beginning. I went through a lot of different jobs and I tried myself at a lot of different things, and I found that I had talents for this and not for that. So there should be this first stage where you explore, what is out there to do and what you feel you have talent for. So once you find that talent, this is the place where you will say, like, hey, I enjoy doing this so much that it is worth investing time into creating a business where I can do this work all the time, right? I hope that makes sense. So I think first you need to go through this phase of exploring. And once you find that thing, it's worthwhile to say like, hey, I want to do this all the time, so I'm gonna go for it. And this what happened to me after exploring, different visual disciplines. I just found out that I had a talent for lettering and for drawing letter forms, and this is what I do since 10 years, and I'm so happy about it. So Monica, yes, you missed the first part. I'm going to send you a replay right after this. You will receive this per email. So let me see if there's anything else. So I don't want to go over the hour. So I'm going to take 2 more questions. So what's your daily routine? NN is asking, how do you structure your work day? This is super important, actually. And I always say that if I was able to work as an employee for an employer and I was going there from 9 to 6, I should be able to keep that routine or to be as consistent and coherent when it's about my own business. Of course, since it's my own business, I can also decide whether that working day starts at 10 and finishes at 4, or it starts at 6 a.m. and finishes at midday, right? So, but I always think that you should, or it's good to have some sort of a structure where you commit to, right? If you did it for someone else, why not doing it for you? So I have this structure for myself. With the time, I reduce my working hours, also because I have 2 children. I pick them up at the kindergarten. I spend time with them. I spend time with my husband. You should come up with a structure that you commit to. So that's very interesting. Eva is asking, hi, Martina, I'm working in France. Do you think I should work in English speaking or to English speaking clients, I guess, or should I start with French clients first? I think this is an interesting question. I think you should work with, as I said in the workshop, you should start with what's easier for you. So you should start by what's easier for you in all aspects. If it's easier for you to work from home, then you should start by setting up your workspace at home. If it's easier for you to work with clients that speak your language, you should try to connect to clients that speak your language, even if you're working remote. So try to first go for the things you know, for the things you feel comfortable with. And this will give you, this will help you build up your self-esteem and your confidence to go ahead and go for other clients that maybe don't speak your language, that are more challenging, that perhaps don't even live in your city, right? I hope that makes sense. I think you should always start small. And small also means that you start by the things you know, by the things you feel comfortable with. And you sort of slowly or gradually expand towards things that you feel less comfortable with. And I'm always speaking about this because I'm always sort of visualizing this prototype of the business that I spoke about in the workshop. So Ale, she's asking, what if I just graduated and I don't have a job? I still need an income. How can I do? As I said, perhaps I always recommend to go out there and explore. Employment or finding a job somewhere is a great way to explore things. So you don't have to take care of the business, but just to create the work. But if you cannot find a job, I think what we saw about the income streams can give you some hints on where to start. So if you cannot find a job right now, I think creating income streams can be a way for you to create income. So you don't necessarily need to have a niche or an expertise, but perhaps you're good at doing a certain thing. Perhaps you like drawing in your iPad and you created some brushes for your own work, and you're great at this, and you created these very beautiful brushes. Then put those brushes online, sell them in a marketplace, and this could be for you an income stream, right? So simple things as that. So think, what things have you done or you do that could be useful for someone else? And that could be either services, could be the brushes that you use on your iPad, could be anything else that you find useful for yourself, could be useful for other people, and other people will buy it from you. I hope that was helpful and understandable. So I'm going to take the last question here. Okay, let me just go. So Georgia is asking a financial question here. So hi, Martina. I want to go a little bit deeper into separating personal and business expenses. How do you avoid living from job to job? How do I avoid living from job to job? Okay, I guess, how do I afford? What I think is very important here is that as a freelancer, you don't, this idea of transferring money to your personal account from your business account sort of creates this feeling that we have when we have an employment, right? That we get money hitting our account every month. And I think in the very beginning, this could be very useful. You know that you have this money hitting your account and you can keep track of that money, right? Because as a freelance business, there will be months where perhaps there won't be income coming in. But I want you to think in the months also where you will have a lot of income coming in and will pay for the next 6 months, perhaps a year ahead, right? And we are going for it. And this is possible, actually. I want to tell you that this is possible. It is possible that in the beginning of the year, you make a job or you make a project that will pay for the entire year. And it's up to you whether you want to continue working the entire year or not. So, but what I mean with this is that by administrating that money, you sort of, first you don't expend it, you don't use it all, because you just got a very big payment and you think like, hey, I have a lot of money, let's just spend it, because this is something we all do. But you just sort of administrate that money. Administrating your money is so, so important, I tell you. So I hope that this was useful for you. I hope you would join me and leave now. If you don't, then I hope this workshop was useful. And I'm really looking forward, either for those that are freelancing, I'm really looking forward to see how you thrive in your business. And for those that didn't make the leap yet, I hope this workshop and this hour we spent together is helpful and, will bring you, let me just go. Actually, I'm here in sharing my screen all this time. So I want to say goodbye to everyone. As I said, I'm going to send you a replay with this video. So I'm going to send you an email with the replay so that you can have it. And thank you so much for joining today. Keep in touch and good luck with your businesses. And there will be for sure more of these workshops. So I hope you join me again. Bye-bye.